I believe a cabal of secret societies has controlled the world for 200 plus years, and we get to be alive at a time to see it fall. I believe in the power of one person working as a team with other Christian patriots can have massive impact in reversing this ungodly culture. I believe that we have an omniscient, omnipresent, and omnipotent God that has put his hand on this moment in time to deny the timeline of the enemy and is about to heal our land. This is Rick, your host, and I believe that God has called me to empower Christian patriots with truth. Join us now for the Blessed Teach Show, and let's see what God is doing today.
Elitist media deceives, but Faith and Freedom TV amplifies truth. Our world-leading platform delivers news, teachings, worship, movies, and music rooted in biblical values and constitutional patriotism, inspiring faith and liberty. We inspire, equip, and amplify Christian patriots to share powerful stories of faith, family, and freedom. With live events, thousands of on-demand videos, and access on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android, and iOS, we're transforming culture globally for God and country. New content is coming to ignite faith. Join our mission to counter deception. Visit faithandfreedom.tv and download the Faith and Freedom TV app today.
Welcome, it's Rick B2T here. We're going to be empowering Christian patriots with truth the next hour or two. Actually, the second hour is going to be on a different channel, the Word and Worship channel, as we do our praise and prayer, including Project Children Rescue. But right now, we're going to have Dr. Tenpenny live as soon as she's able to get on. And we got the Putin, Trump nuke threats and much more on the upcoming news. And again, we'll be on the Word and Worship channel on Rumble only, as well as Faith and Freedom are the two places, the Word and Worship channels on both those platforms. We're not on YouTube or anything there, but right now we're live on YouTube and Facebook and Rumble, as well as Backstage here on Zoom. So join us back here on Backstage, by the way. Just go to blessedteach.com. And you can do that. So also, we got all kinds of live events coming up on the Faith and Freedom TV channel. So make sure you download the app and bookmark the web app at faith with the N, freedom.tv. We're excited about that. Let's get going on some of this breaking news here. We see here that Trump issues a chilling warning. Oh boy, that's not good. This is my screen not coming up because I'm low on disk space. It's telling me I was low on disk space. We'll see if I can get this to come back up. Give me a few seconds, see if I can get it to come back up in a second. Let's see here. Come on, puppy. You can do it. For the brave browser. Otherwise, I'm just going to go to my full screen and give you guys news from the full screen. But do need to test to see if I'm going to have Sherry Tenpenny's screen up. All right, guys. This is going to require me to delete some space and come back and reboot, unfortunately. So let me see what I can do. I'm gonna come here, and we'll do Dr. Sherry Tenpenny. We'll probably just go ahead and do Dr. Sherry Tenpenny on audio. Okay, not ideal, but at least we'll have her on audio when she comes on with the technical difficulties that we're having here. But we'll give you a good show anyway. So anyway, we have Trump actually saying, Putin, we have nukes right off your shore. We don't have to go 1,800 miles. So he basically says, hey, you have Putin sitting there boasting, saying, hey, we have these new nukes that can go 1,800 miles, basically saying that I can bomb the U.S. from USSR is what they're basically saying. And so basically Trump says, hey, I have nukes, right? I have nuclear submarines. So don't get so bold, dude. And some of the things that he said, they know we have a nuclear submarine, the greatest in the world, right off their shore, Trump told reporters. He was speaking after Putin on Sunday hailed 8,700-mile, 15-hour test flights for Russia's unique nuclear-powered missile dubbed the Flying Chernobyl, which basically says that they can do U.S. targets, right? And this is real interesting. It says it's a unique product unlike anything else in the world. And we need to identify potential uses and begin preparing the infrastructure for deploying this weapon in our armed forces. So that's what they're talking about. And so Trump basically says, we test missiles all the time. But, we do have submarine and nuclear submarine. We don't need it to go 8,000 miles. So, but he did say they're not playing games with us and we're not playing games with them either. And tried to move them to say, I don't think it's appropriate for a thing for Putin to be saying. This is another quote by Trump. By the way, we ought to get the war ended. A war that should have been 1 week is now in its soon 4th year. So I'll tell you what, I'm going to try to make sure I've deleted the trash can here. I know I was running low on space, but I didn't realize it would freak my cameras out that bad. So in other news, the Jeffries endorsed Madami, and that's going to haunt them next year. That's what this whole article is about in hot air. And you guys will be able to see this in the show notes. Again, go to blessed2teach.com, show notes, blessed2teach.com. I'm going to give you guys the lower third there, right, blessed2teach.com right here. And then you'll be able to go to the right in there, that front page. You'll be able to sign up for the show notes. That's where you get to everything else as well with the ministry. But this is really interesting. They're shooting themselves in the foot because obviously this Mamdani is really popular in the fringes of the left, but in real deep blue states, but it's not anywhere else. And so here's Ben Patterson saying, more polling on socialist Zoran Mamdani shows how toxic he is across the battleground districts. And so this is interesting because if you dig into the details, it's going to really bite them in the midterms, right? Especially if we go to non-selection machines and we go to paper ballots and we have voter ID without the machines, which I'm praying that all of this finally breaks. We were thinking the whole election, sting operation was going to happen in 2021 timeframe. And wow, here we are in 2025, wondering if the sting is going to actually come out. We know it's there. We know they have they have it all. We know they have all the options. We know exactly how they did it now, based on Serbia virtual machines, and they've done it to 72 countries. But again, if we don't let the deep state think they have a chance of winning, they will destroy the world with nuclear weapons potentially. That is where I believe part of this delay is, right? But so when are we going to get people to get more ins from that defected from Serbia that actually did the election cheating and now we have it all out? When is that all going to come out? They seem to be prepping the normies for it by slow leaks of different types of election fraud, and Trump is being very blunt that the 2020 election was indeed stolen. So that is going to be fun to watch, to see that happen. So here's Trump on his Trump's truths. I enjoy digging in, and I like to sometimes refresh to see, gosh, is this a new one, right? And so let me. This is one that he just did a little bit ago here because we're live. Obviously, we're live. That's why I'm having a little bit of challenge here. But he says, after winning 3 elections by a lot, I'm now getting the best polling numbers that I've ever received, Trump says. People see how strong the economy is, the trillions of dollars of investments pouring into our country, the record-setting strong border after years of millions of criminals pouring in through it, totally unvetted and unchecked, ending 8 wars in 8 months, no men playing in women's sports, no transgenders for everyone, rapidly falling energy prices, and much more. Despite all this, the radical left losers are taking fake ads, not showing real polls, but rather saying that I'm polling at low levels. These are the people that I have been beating for years, and I'm counting to do so, but by even bigger margins. These ads should not be allowed to run because they are fake. So that is right. So I'm not sure what I'm looking to see if let's see. Okay, it looks like they do not. Sherry Tenpenny is trying to get the link into the meeting. So guys, just give me a second to see. I'm having can't do it from my computer. So my computer is really freaking out. So let me see if I can do it from here. The emails went out from Gus Minkler. Let me see here, guys. We'll continue to go over some news, and hopefully that will be enough information for her to get in. Exact same link as last time. Live and unable to text link from my computer. We might have to reload on Sherry Tenpenny, and based on what's going on right now with the machine really freaking out here, guys. This is a high-powered Mac Studio, and does really well, but it has to have this space. So that's what I'm dealing with right now, is disk space. So I'm gonna try to. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play one of my videos of the Rick's Alone Time God with blog as I delete a bunch of space. Hopefully that's gonna free everything up for us. So here we go. Here is a Rick's Alone Time with God. This is the time to overcome evil. Yes, this is what I heard from the Lord on Rick's Alone Time with God blog on Thursday, August 28th, 2025 at 7:30 p.m. And the title is, This is the Time to Overcome Evil. And I asked, Lord, how are you tonight? I am well, and my eyes are going throughout the entire world, and there is nothing I do not see. I see all the hidden atrocities across the entire world. These hidden sins will not go unpunished. You will see that this is a special time in history, marked out from the beginning to expose those who are against me. I waited until many cups of iniquity were full, and now is the time to pour it out. This exposure and judgment will create turmoil, but this is necessary in order to move from a timeline dominated by the enemy to the next timeline, where my people dominate and take dominion. Therefore, children, understand the times. It is your time to build and grow and keep moving. Do not retreat. Do not give up. Do not fall for anything the enemy puts before you. Expect victory and expect to hear specific directions from me. Once you confirm the directions I give you, do not delay and move forward. In this time period, the world will learn about evil that they could have never imagined. Many will not want to hear it or see it and will decide to ignore it. Others will be moved deeply by the evil and come to me for comfort, for salvation, and to fight against the evil. This will lead to a great revelation and restoration and revival. Exposures will devastate those close to people they had no idea were so dark. Yes, many whom you loved and adored will be exposed, and people will realize they were an abomination in my sight. This is the opportunity to be part of a great harvest as those who realize they need Jesus. When I'm asked, why, Lord, why let so much evil happen? Part of the answer is exactly this. Many whom I've called would not have ever come to me if they were not deeply disturbed. I had to let evil happen, to get many to see it, be sickened by it, and flee from it. And where will they flee to? Many will flee to me. Pure evil often results in repentance and salvation. Therefore know that I often have to let evil prevail, and I will use this often to lead people to me. Be prepared, my children, to live by faith and not by sight, because the sight will be atrocious. There are many things the enemy wants you to see to cover up their sickness and evil. But the world will see through this and see the ugliness and darkness. The question for my children will be, are you going to wallow and get angry over the sights and the exposure of this pure evil, or are you going to come to me in faith and let me empower you to overcome this evil? This is the time to overcome evil. So prepare by living by faith and allow me to flow through you. And flow through you I will. Discover more with Rick at morewithrick.com. That's More with Rick. Let's move forward and accomplish the impossible. That's what I heard on my Rick's Alone Time with God blog on Wednesday, September 24th, 10:28 p.m. And again, the title is Let's Move Forward and Accomplish the Impossible. I said, okay, Lord, how are you tonight? I'm well, and I am making great progress in allowing the enemy to make fools of themselves over and over again. Those who are against me are now showing themselves, rather than hiding within secret societies and in the shadows of the evil one. My trap has been set, and they have fallen into it. The darkness and secret deeds done in the dark are getting exposed by my light. My light cannot be stopped, but destroys darkness. It will continue to allow the enemy to expose himself over and over again. This allows many people I am calling to see the clear evil, and many will be motivated to seek my face like never before. You are seeing this across social media and even within your own peer groups. So keep your focus, my children. This is not the time to back off, but it's the time to press forward. Press forward, allowing me to guide you directly into your calling for this very time. There are times for peace and times for war, times to relax and times to press. This is the time to press and make war on the enemy's strongholds. So come to me for answers on what strongholds I've assigned to you. Yes, I have strongholds for each of you. Just remember, you need to come close to me, listen, commune with me, test the spirits, and this is when you get specific directions from me. And they will be specific if you allow me to yoke you. Remember, when an animal is yoked, it allows their master to change its direction, and it moves according to how the master directs it. Are you doing this? Are you receiving guidance from me frequently? This is why I say draw close to me, pray continuously, and to understand that I will go before you. I will be with you. I will never leave you or forsake you. So do not fear or be dismayed, but instead move forward with boldness and confidence. Come to my throne and seek the wisdom you will need in these times. And then move forward with the authority I have given you to tread on serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy. And nothing will hurt you, because I am for you. With me for you, nothing will be impossible for you. So let's move forward and accomplish the impossible. I love that. That was a September 28th word, I think, that, let's move forward and accomplish the impossible. That is beautiful. So I did just get texted back and forth with Michelle, the CFO or the chief officer of with Tenpenny, Dr. Tenpenny. Dr. Tenpenny is so sick she can't speak right now. She was traveling into Dallas at the Aegis, the Healing for the Aegis tour, and obviously got some food poisoning or something. But I wanted to see if Michelle might be able to come on audio a little bit, and we can talk to her a little bit about what Dr. Tenpenny's up to. and get a little bit of information from Michelle. She's on the road, but gonna give us a little bit of information. So Michelle, can you unmute and how are you today?
Hi, Rick. I'm great. Thank you. It's an honor to be here with all of you.
Yeah, great. So let me know how the audio is. That sounds good to on my side. So those of you on Zoom uh, and
Excellent.
Facebook.
It was great. It's great. Well, it's great to see you at the Healing for the Ages event. It's always an excellent event to be at, but even better when you see familiar faces, people that we work together with. And it's a community. So it's nice to see each other again, come together, and be in the presence of people who are really trying to help others, whether it's to see the truth, hear the truth, or come to a place where they can start to heal, whether they have made some very bad decisions, and you and I both know what I'm talking about there, or whether or not they always knew and are trying to find answers for their family, for their loved ones, and for themselves, for everything that they're facing in the world that we're dealing today. Because, Rick, let me tell you, even if people have not fallen victim to getting the shots and being poisoned, we are all being poisoned 24/7, whether it's the food we eat, what's in the air, what's in the soil. And I was listening to what you were just saying, when you were saying that, God lets evil happen because that's the only way for you to come to him, is when you realize that you're in need. I think that now more than ever, maybe at least in our own lifetimes and probably the last few decades, never before have I seen so many people fall to their knees and ask for help. So
Amen.
I hope that there is some light at the end of the tunnel for them, whether it's in this life or the other. And we just always have to keep remembering that we're just here visiting.
Yep. Amen. Amen. And to correct me on your position with Dr. Sherry Tenpenny.
That's so funny. That's okay. I wear many, many hats.
Right.
And most people know me as Dr. Tenpenny's right hand. I'm the VP of her online operations, but I do a lot more. It's interesting, Rick. People were coming to me at the Healing for the Ages event. Somebody during the panel that Dr. Tenpenny was speaking at with Dr. Sabine Hazen, and there was somebody else that was there too. I'm sorry, I can't remember his name, but they asked me to speak on a subject in regards to Canadian vaccine laws. And when I would start to talk, a lady that was in the audience, she couldn't see me because I was way at the front, but she could hear my voice. And later on, she came running to Dr. Tenpenny's voice and she said, "You're Michelle Tavares." I said, "Yes." And she said, "I knew by the voice. I knew by your voice because you do a lot of Dr. Tenpenny's shows and you speak with her on some of her podcasts." So I
Right.
thought that was really cute. I thought that was really cute. So, I mean,
Yes.
that's just me telling you that I wear a lot of hats. A lot of people here might have already seen me on Dr. Tenpenny's podcast or heard me on her morning coffee show, or maybe she even mentioned me here, Rick. We work very closely together on just about everything that happens within our organization.
That sounds awesome, and she has a lot going on. I love it. So she is now on Faith and Freedom TV. So we have two shows. Can you talk a little bit about those biblical shows and potentially even getting
Yes.
some of the other ones on and one and yeah, go ahead.
I'll tell you how this all came about, which is a pretty neat story.
Right.
Years ago, when all of this COVID stuff hit the ceiling,
Mm-hmm.
um, she was looking for somewhere to find some comfort. It was such a dark time. It still is a dark time, but not as dark as it was in those beginning,
Right.
years.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so dark that, she said, I want to do prayers. And so we started to go live on Instagram. And she would do a live. Sometimes I would join her from we had two channels, and we would join from different channels, and we would just kind of talk. And Rick, I'm Catholic,
Mm-hmm.
so I didn't learn about the Bible like most others might, because our churches are really about rituals, right? There's a little bit of a lesson, but not really. And during the lesson, most people are tuned out because you're used to stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, sit down, kneel. Repeat a couple of things and prayers, and you tune out. Kids tune out. So I learned more from those happy hour shows than I ever learned previously. So they were really exciting for me,
Right.
especially when we would start. At one point we started to bring guests on, and then those guests were able to talk about different verses or chapters in the Bible. It was really a great awakening for me. But we started that off on Instagram, and then she was
Okay.
doing 5 days a week of that. And then on the fourth day, I said, on the fifth day, excuse me, which was Friday, I said, well, let's make this family night and start bringing in people from our audience and let them pick a verse and come on and speak, because these are regulars who are watching us live on Instagram. After doing this for a while, Rick, we said, we really need a name for this show. And we were airing that show at the time at 6 p.m. on every evening. I said, let's call it Happy Hour with Dr. T. Kind of a cute little play on words, right? It really was her happy hour, but it wasn't about drinking alcohol. Anyhow, that's where this all really came alive. And she was doing this came down to from 5 days a week now to 2 days a week, where she would bring on a guest and talk about a verse in the Bible. We always let our guests pick the verse, and then we talk about what that verse means to them in today's time. The other show that we started to do was Bible series.
Right.
And in that Bible series,
I wanted to just interrupt for a second, Michelle. There, so those of you who I think most of you know Dr. Tenpenny, right? But how many of you knew that she has 2 Bible teaching sessions that she's live on every week? So if you have so for those of you on YouTube and Rumble and Backstage on Zoom, put a 1 if you say, I knew Tenpenny was teaching biblical series and doing Bible series, and number 2 if you did not. I imagine most of you did not know she had that. But go ahead and go into the second one.
The second one, that came alive after we would interview people on their books. And then their books would be so vibrant and there was so much to it that we started to feel like one episode just wasn't enough to cover what that entire book could really teach people. So we would, bring on the guests and let them do a 4, 6, or 8 week series on that topic. And we've had so many incredible topics on that, Rick. Again, such great learning experiences. And it all started with Doug Van Dorn and the Giants on a 4-week series. That's how these all started, really. And it's still one of my favorite books. That's Doug Van Dorn. If no one's read that book, go and pick it up. I have no affiliation, with that book. I'm not pushing it on you for any reason except go and read it. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And of course, watch the series.
Yeah. And by the way, you can go to drtenpenny.com to find links to all this, right? She's got several
Yes, correct. Under the
Substacks.
podcast section. Under the podcast section, they can actually find the Bible series area in there. And they may have to just sign up, just like log in, get a login to watch that. And that's kind of like us protecting that site as well, because we can get a lot of trolls, Rick, trying to shut down our sites and trying to make sure that words like this, information like this, and teaching like this doesn't get out. So yeah, just log in, sign up there, and you can watch the Bible series.
Yeah, and there's 2 Substacks. One's Eye on Evidence, and one's on Walking with God. So you can find her on Substack. You can find her on Rumble, BitChute.
Exactly.
Pretty much everywhere but YouTube, right?
Yes, exactly. And we're actually starting another show, a 5-day-a-week radio show on America Out Loud.
Okay, great. And
so because we had extra time.
Yeah. And so of the 5 days that you go live, which ones is she talking bluntly about health? Because I know she stays away from that during the Bible.
Well, here's the thing. There's 5 days a week that we're live on America Out Loud. That starts in November. We launched mid-November on that show. We're still going to do 1 day a week there where we talk about some of the authors. But
I'm just talking about what they can find on Rumble now, right?
Oh, on Rumble now. If you go to Rumble and you type in Dr. Sherry Tenpenny, you should find it there. And we're also on Spotify. We're going to be on iHeartRadio. On Spotify, I believe it's called the Tenpenny Podcasts.
Right. But so
they'll find it there.
People are looking for the Tenpenny Truth on Health. What days would they tune in?
Oh, Truth on Health. I would we go live on the Truth on Health on Wednesdays at 11 a.m.
Wednesdays at 11. Okay,
That's where
great.
I would really encourage people to come and join us. They don't have to join us in the live show, but if they're able to, they can join us in a live studio audience and actually ask Dr. Tenpenny their own questions, not,
Right.
personal medical questions, because we can't do that on the air. But they can ask generic questions. Like we have people that come on and ask things about, how do I treat MS or lupus, or what can I do if I've had the COVID shot, or questions about blood clotting and different things, or how do I prepare myself for a measles outbreak or anything like that. So she
Hmm.
can answer generic questions, and they're really, really good. And sometimes during those shows, she goes off on a rant, and those are my favorite because she
Yeah.
gets really passionate, and you learn so much from what she's able to share from her 25 years of experience of dealing with medical corruption. And, like her book talks about how they've been able to weaponize vaccines and pharma and the law.
Hmm. Right. So, what about let's talk a little
And
bit
sorry,
about.
I'll just tell them, sorry, Rick, I'll just let them know, because you asked them, where they can find it. Go to drtenpenny.com, so drtenpenny.com. And again, under the podcast section, there's a section there that will say Morning Coffee with Dr. T. And in there, you can register
Okay,
for the live.
that sounds great. That sounds great. And I'd like to get that on live on Faith and Freedom TV. I'll tell you how we can do that later.
Oh, I'd love that.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's one of my favorite shows.
Mhm. That sounds great. Yeah, because I know if everybody knows Dr. Tenpenny, and I love her Bible shows, but I think they're looking for the health stuff as well, right? So,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I guarantee you'll enjoy that.
Yeah.
And she'll tell you the same thing. It's one of her absolute favorite shows because she could really go on a rant.
Yeah, and she's also very passionate when we've had her on here before. And again, guys, this if you're joining late, Dr. Tenpenny couldn't make it tonight based upon the travel and getting something in her throat. So shit. So we have got the her right hand person, Michelle
Yeah.
Tavares, on right now. To kind of talk a little bit about some things. And one of the things that she's really passionate about too is helping people detox, helping people age well,
Yes.
and that's why we have the link down below you see right there that says blessedteach.com slash agewell. And there's a way to make sure your telomeres aren't shrinking, right? I know Dr. Group was talking about this years ago, but this new
Yes.
formula, she really believes it. You want to talk a little bit about this?
I'd love to. And when we first looked at this, I'm not sure which way your audience has been lately. I want to talk to the people who've had the COVID shot for a minute, because when I first looked at this, and we get pitched a lot of different products, Rick, as you can imagine,
Yeah.
and there's very few that we will work with, and we test them all ourselves. We really get deep into the science of it. We talk with the formulators, the founders, and want to make sure that whatever we are sharing with the world, we've tested, and we've done our due diligence on. So when I saw this particular protocol, the first thing that went off in my mind was all the people who've had the COVID shot and all the people who have not, but are victims to transmission. And I'm using that word very specifically because there's a difference between shedding and transmission. And what's
Yes.
happened with
Hmm.
these COVID shots is people have suffered from transmission of what is coming out of the people who've had the shot. And so this particular protocol, what it helps with, and I'll give people a quick understanding of what telomeres are in case they don't know what that means. So when you see a little DNA strand, Rick, and at the end of those DNA strands, if you can picture that in your mind, those twirly things, everyone, those little twirly DNA looking things, on the ends of those, there are like caps. And if you can imagine the ends of your shoelaces, there are like plastic caps on the ends of your shoelaces. Those are telomeres.
Hmm.
And as we age, and not just with age, but with environmental impacts, with lifestyle, with stress, lack of sleep, sugar, and poisons in our food, in our air that I've already talked about, and then in come COVID shots, in come transmissions. And what about all those other shots that people got throughout their lives, childhood
Right.
shots, adult, like Dr. Tenpenny calls them the childhood poisoning schedule, or the
Yes.
adult assault agenda, because adults are still being assaulted with shots like RSV and the tetanus shot, which by the way is a 3-in-1 shot. It's not a standalone tetanus shot. It includes diphtheria and pertussis and tetanus. So don't ever let anyone fool you that you're getting just a tetanus shot. And flu shots, I mentioned that. Shingle shots, I still hear so many people doing this, and thinking that these are different. Yes, they're different than the actual mRNA shots with COVID. They are not different in that they are poisoning you equally the same.
Yeah, and
So I'm thinking about people.
just as a real quick personal story, there is my wife got the shingle shots and had um, rheumatoid arthritis within 3 months. Right
Wow.
after the shingle shot, after my son and her are actually trying to tell her not to do it, so she woke
Oh
up
my
from that
gosh.
and was able to use several solutions to detox and basically, and I can't use that word on because we're on live on YouTube right now, but basically she doesn't have it anymore, whatever word you want to use for that. And it was all natural treatment she used, right? So that's the point here.
Right. Yes, exactly. I'll be careful knowing that where you're airing this too. I'll watch my words here. But, thinking about, let's go back to this protocol for a second. So what interested me was that thinking about what's happened with people, not just people who've had shots, not just people who are, injected with poisons, but also just everyday people living life, stressed, not sleeping, having too much sugar, breads, pastas, things that affect their lifestyles, alcohol. All of these things can actually lead to the fraying and shrinking of those telomeres.
Right.
And what happens when you accelerate that with, environmental impacts, let's call them that, you're actually accelerating the fraying and the shrinking. And as those fray and shrink, that leads to disease
Mm-hmm.
and eventually death.
Mm-hmm.
So when I came across this protocol, which actually helps to cap the ends of those DNA strands, the ends of the telomeres, it caps them, helps to cap that, and it helps to reverse disease and hopefully prolong your life, but in a good way. Not, nobody wants to live to 120 if they're sick, but
Right.
can you live to 120 if you're really well and healthy and vibrant and can enjoy your life? Yes, we'd all want to probably do that, right? So
And so,
that's how I looked at this. And so I
right.
thought about all the people who've had the shots or have been affected by transmission, whether it's maybe your spouse who got it. Guess what? That transmits to you.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you're a grandparent and your grandchildren got it, that transmits to you and vice versa. So it's hard to escape it if you didn't get the shot. Of course, it's not the same effect. People who got the shot are much more damaged, but we're still victims of the transmission. Anyhow, this protocol, I'm looking at it like, could this possibly be the missing link to help these people? Because if all it does is buy them time, Rick, if that's all it does, would that be worth it to you? And I have several friends and family members who have suffered through the effects of the COVID shots. And I would tell you that they would say, yes, it's worth it if it means prolonging their time.
Yeah, I know
And
I know
helping
my
to reverse some of the symptoms, right?
Mhm.
Like Dr. Tenpenny says, once you vaccinate, you can't unvaccinate. There's no going back.
Right.
But what you can do is try to mitigate from some of the damages and try to help some of the symptoms that you're facing. And if this does that alone, Rick, then do it. It's an unbelievable protocol. It's an excellent product. I wish I could show some before and afters here. And it's not just for that, everybody, because I take it myself and I obviously didn't have the shot. But I take it myself for other reasons. It's an anti-aging protocol. It's reversing your age from the inside out, and it reflects on your hair, on your skin. You look more youthful. You're more active. You're less tired. It helps with weight if that's, if you're anything that's affected by your telomeres, like for instance, if you have MS or lupus or cancer or anything like that, and it is caused by shortening or fraying of your telomeres, this should be able to help that, is the
Right.
point I'm trying to make. But let's say you're,
This is something that I actually started taking as well. a couple months ago, and I know Rob, my brother, is suffering, or actually his tumors are shrinking, so he's beating out melanoma right now, natural approaches primarily, and I think he talked to you and Dr. Tenpenny, and they're saying you need to get on Televital, so he's adding this to his protocol
Absolutely.
as well. But it's interesting that it actually is a capsule with a lot of unique herbs that most supplements don't have, right? And especially all of these together. So it's kind of exciting. So the researcher here was the most prominent researcher in telomere science, right?
He
And
is. Yes, he
he's the
is.
one who
Dr.
pulled
Bill
this
Andrews.
together, and that's one reason why Dr. Tenpenny so excited about where you can see on the blessedteach.com/agewell site. If you just go there, blessedteach.com/agewell, you're able to see and actually get a big discount on the first bottle by getting the Televital capsules with all these supplements proven to help your telomeres. And that's why we say age well, right?
Exactly. Exactly. And people are going to start hearing a lot more about this, as it gets into the spotlight. But I'll give you a testimonial that I just heard a couple of weeks ago. There was a client of ours out in Hawaii, and she called and said that her 95-year-old mother, who had, reading glasses, a walker, she couldn't stand for very long. She couldn't never wash dishes at her sink. She couldn't do that anymore. And she said after 3 or 4 months on this telomeres product, she no longer needs her reading glasses. She no longer uses a walker, and she can stand at the sink and wash her dishes by herself. That's huge. And I really wish, Rick, I'm going to send you some before and after so you can show maybe on the screen next time.
Yeah.
But the before and afters are just unbelievable, and the ones that I have in my phone here are from 10 years ago. This product has been perfected over time, more and more perfected, I should say, over time, because the ones that we could see from 10 years ago, if you speak to Dr. Bill Andrews, he'll tell you this new telomere product is at least 10 times stronger and better than the old one. And the old one was already amazing. You have to see these before and afters. They're just unbelievable. Where I have, a picture of a lady with her back hunchback, like really bad curvature in her shoulders and neck. And within 5 months, her back is flat.
Right.
And you see these over and over again. So it's not just disease. It's not just cancers and MS and diabetes and all these things. It's your body. Your body is reversing its age when you're starting to properly protect. And there's so much out there on the market. Don't be fooled. There is really so much, and most of it is just not, like, you're just wasting your money. That's
And
why when we saw this, when we knew who was behind it, we knew that Dr. Bill Andrews was behind this formulation. We really paid attention because we call him the king of telomeres. He's the person that everybody goes to test
right.
their telomeres products and tests with. So he's definitely the person to tell you where, where products would sit on the 1 to 10 perfection line, And if anybody wants to watch a little bit about that interview, that any kind of discussions that we've had with Dr. Bill Andrews, they can go on. If they're on Instagram, they can find me, and my handle on Instagram is Live Well and Detox, and Live is spelled Liv, no E at the end because it's my daughter's name. It's Liv, Livwell, Live Well and Detox. And if you scroll through there, you'll see some interviews that were done at the Dave Asprey event. And that's all about, those events are all about biohacking and healing and things like that. And Dr. Bill Andrews spoke at that event. And I was lucky enough to interview him and the founder, Eddie Stone, and Dr. Bill Andrews' wife, who is in her late 60s and has come off all other supplements. And all she takes is this, Rick. It's all she takes. And she is running marathons. It is unbelievable. You have to see how young and vital this woman looks. Please take a minute if you can and watch those interviews. They're very short, maybe about 2 minutes each, but very worth your time.
And that Instagram is Live, Liv, and then what?
Live Well and Detox.
Is it AND or is the and sign?
AND. So Livwell.
So can you see my screen?
AND.
Did I get
Let's
that?
see.
Did I get
Yes,
that right?
that's correct.
All
Yep, that's correct.
right. So that's
That's
where you can get
perfect.
the Live Well and Detox on there. So right now, my disk space is full and I'm not able to show my screen as much as I usually do. But again, that's Televital. Guys, make sure you go to blessed2teach.com/agewell. And this is something that's just exciting to me. This is why having the knowledge of Dr. Tenpenny on, okay, stay away from this stuff that's poisoning you, but hey,
Right.
let's look at what we can do to actually repair our bodies. Part of that is making sure you look at your telomeres and look at the science of these herbs that are specific toward telomere growth and health, right? So I mean, and not shrinking your telomeres is what it stops. It stops the shrinking of your telomeres.
Absolutely.
The other thing is
And you know what?
go ahead.
We've taken the guesswork out away for you guys. We've done all the guesswork. We've done all of the research for you, so you don't have to guess and try to figure it out. There's a lot out there. It gets confusing. So we do this for you so that you don't have to guess which one to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we would, like I said, I would never suggest you do anything I'm not doing. I'm doing everything I tell you to do, and so is Dr. Tenpenny. So that's really important that people can have those kinds of testimonials. And Rick, I did my own testimonial. I am not one of those people that detox hard, so I can do something and maybe not feel a detox, whereas you might, Rick. I don't have, maybe because I eat really clean and it's been a long time, whatever it is. So I needed to do testing for myself when I was testing this product. And so I did some quantum tests with Dr. Lisa Palmer and Dr. Jason Dean.
Yeah.
I wanted quantum tests. I did not tell them what I was about to do. I wanted them to quantum test me. It's muscle testing. And they told me all of these supplements that I needed and where I was at and what needed support. And off I went with the plan to return in 3 weeks or so to retest and see what my results were. Well, Rick,
Mm-hmm.
what I didn't tell them was I wasn't taking any of their advice. I didn't do any of the supplements they told me to do. All I did was my detox, which you have as well. I know you're a big proponent of that. Was the detox, because that is every day. I don't ever stop doing that because of how badly we're being poisoned, and it just really helps your body to continue functioning and absorbing your supplements, because if your body's toxic, that's another obstacle that has to go through. Anyway, that's another subject, but the point is I was doing the detox and I did this Televital product, and everybody said to me, they were like, what are you doing? What are
Yeah.
you doing differently? And I said, I don't understand. What do you mean? And they said, look, we retested you. It's only been 3 weeks. You don't need 90% of the supplements we had previously told you that you needed. And the only ones you need very little of. That was
Wow, because you
3 weeks,
detoxed
Rick.
and took the Televital, right? To
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's part of this vital nutrients that most people never take, right? That are proven to help with telomeres,
Yeah.
and that's one
And it's
thing.
very
So
different. We've asked Dr. Bill, can people just eat this stuff? And he
yeah,
kind of laughed about it and he said, you can go ahead and try. Because it's not just, hey, eating that herb or eating that vegetable or eating that fruit or whatever it is. It's not just that. He's formulated it. It's extraction. It's concentrated. It is nothing that you and I would be able to just go out and eat because of how it's put together and how it's extracted.
hmm and I think it's 8 separate herbs. And it's really interesting. If you go to blessed2teach.com/agewell, you'll see Dr. Bill Andrews on there. A lot of why this works for sleep and stress and joint health and skin elasticity, cognitive
Oh,
clarity,
it's
hair color,
amazing.
immune health, strength and stamina. It's pretty amazing because this is they're onto something here with this
We
cell
really are.
revitalization, right? The other thing again there, if you scroll down, it'll give you a lot more detail on the supplements. It's like turmeric. It's got organic. What is it? Skullcap root. It's got these hazel fruit extract. It's got gallnut fruit extract, organic black pepper extract. Things that you're not going to find in most supplements. Organic wheatgrass
That's
powder,
right.
organic black currant extract. And again, this is natural stuff that God has given us on this earth to make sure our telomeres don't shrink and we don't age so quickly. And then I think another key to what you did was detox, right? And that's why Dr. Tenpenny is really big onto another site, blessed2teach.com/detox. That talks. Do you want to talk a little bit about that too?
Yes, that is our favorite product in the world. We've been talking about it for years. Rick, when we first started talking about the detoxing, we were really looking at that particular detox for children who have had vaccines, have had a little bit of, some vaccine injury. Maybe they're autistic, ADHD, a myriad of problems, and adults as well, not just children, adults as well, who continue to be poisoned by these shots. Because this particular detox is able to do that on a cellular level, and it can technically pull out toxins from the brain. I've had people tell me that their nonverbal 7-year-old child was speaking after 24 hours on the cellular detox, and they added the gut detox too, which I can tell you about. But I tell everybody, look, for your getting started, just get the cellular one now, because I know with your link, Rick, and everybody should get it from your link, because that will get them their first bottle for only $14. Guys, that's not even shipping.
Right now,
shipping is free.
Right now, the ordering option says $39, but I think that's both of them.
Oh, that's excellent. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
So that means that the one you have has what I just talked about, which is the cellular and the gut together.
Yes, it's got both of them. Yes.
That is the one. If I'm talking to you one-on-one, Rick, I always recommend that, because that is the one that does the gut, cellular level, and brain. If you're serious about this, if you're serious about getting your body clean so it can function better and absorb your nutrients better, your food better, other supplements better, then you want to do that. I'm so happy that you have that, Rick. That is what I recommend my family and friends, and one-on-one conversations like this. So if you're in the audience and you're hearing this, that's the one you want. That's what I was just mentioning, and I didn't realize that was your link. Excellent. Very, very good.
Yeah,
and
so
that'll give you a really big discount.
We've had Sherry on. We've talked very little about this. It was mainly about Sherry, what she's doing, and her Bible series, and her and everything she's doing with drtenpenny.com. So go to drtenpenny.com. Make sure you're following her on all these things. We'll bring her next month when she just didn't get done with a 3-day travel to Dallas and back. But we will.
Poor thing, she's nonstop.
Yeah. But I wanted to make sure that now we had this opportunity to get Michelle on, who basically runs a lot of the programs to make sure people understand how does Dr. Sherry Tenpenny recommend it. They detox and make sure your telomeres aren't shrinking. And these are the two things. The one above my head here is blessed2teach.com/detox. And then the other one is blessed2teach.com/agewell, which is the telomere. It's called TeleVital. So get your pure body.
I highly recommend those.
Yeah, your pure body.
And Rick, go
ahead.
Again, it's not just for people I mentioned the vaccine thing because these children, that's how we started off. But Rick, that was, 5-6 years ago. Over the last few years, we've been seeing more and more testimonials of how that particular detox has done way more than we ever imagined in the beginning. It's detoxing mold. It detoxes you from fake jewelry, from glyphosate, from the chemtrails, the pesticides in the grass, the golf courses, grass food. We try to eat as organically as possible, but the neighbor spraying, Monsanto seeds and spraying pesticides in his garden can go to your organic fields. So you really have to take care of yourself, and it's our own responsibilities to make sure that we're doing that. And it's for so many different things. Every person that we come in contact with, Dr. Tenpenny says to them, you need to detox first. Detox, let's clean out the body, let's give that a really good go. And yes, add your supplements to that. And the more you detox with the detox pack that you have there, Rick, the more that your other supplements and nutrition and food will benefit your body and help you to live a healthier, more vibrant life. We've had people have clearer eyes. The pictures that I wish I could send you pictures. The eyes just clear up. People's eczema has cleared up with the skin issues, hair issues. And by the way, I don't know if you know this, Rick, but metals, which this removes from the body, it removes heavy and soft metals. You know, aluminum is a soft metal. A lot of people forget that when they talk about heavy metals. Aluminum is in your shots and deodorants and all kinds of things.
Right.
And that's a soft metal. So this removes hard and soft metals and mold and so much more. But did you know that metals can sit in your fat cells and make it difficult for you to lose weight? People don't really think about that.
And they've done everything to poison us and to make us miserable, haven't they? They
Oh
want
my
some.
gosh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's in things that people don't even really think twice about sometimes, you know? Their shampoo, their clothing on their bodies. What about VOCs? What about their furniture? Their mattress? What's your mattress made of? You're sleeping on that for, 5 to 8 hours a night. These all contain fire retardants, chemicals, and really nasty things that we're breathing in. Perfumes. All of these things are toxic to the body, and those two, that detox pack, Rick, really helps to do that on the levels you want, which is your cellular, your brain, and your gut. We haven't seen anything better than this, and we've seen
Right.
a lot, Rick.
Yeah, no kidding. Hey, we only have a few minutes left, so tell us a little bit more about what Dr. Sherry Tenpenny has in store for us.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm sorry I took up most of this chat talking about this, but her number one goal right now, and what she's been working on, is trying to help people to take their health back into their own hands.
Right.
And some of that all has to do with education. We want to provide you the tools, and we do, just like Rick is doing here. Guys, make sure you get those bottles because these discounts are absolutely incredible, and I'm telling you, this can change your life. But you also, because the world is not going to do that. Your medical doctor is not going to do that. Your hospital is not going to do that. And as much as you want to Google and try to learn things on your own, it is so difficult. Dr. T and our team, we worked so hard to bring you researched information. And that takes hours. I don't know that the regular person has the kind of resource and energy and knowledge to be able to put together the educational pieces that she's able to do.
It looks like you cut out a little bit there. I just want to point people to at drtenpenny.com. Dr. Tenpenny, TENPENNY
This
.com.
gives you is .com, yeah. And what this gives you is a presentation that Dr. Tenpenny puts together for you on a specific theme, a specific topic. This month it's breast health. So you have an entire PowerPoint presentation that she talks you through about breast health, and it's all research, that things that she's actually learning new as well, because she's not just bringing you things that she's already learned. She's researching months worth of content to teach you in that month. Then she does a white paper for you as well. This is well over 60 hours of work. And then she also does a webinar with a specialist in that field. She brings somebody else on, completely, not her, someone completely outside of our organization, who she admires and has followed and has checked out. And she brings that expert on to talk about that field. So we have, breast month. We've had a bone specialist come on. We've had a brain specialist come on. Thyroid. Actually, you mentioned Dr. Group. Dr. Group came on in the wintertime and did thyroid function with us one
All
of those
right.
months for $25 a month. We've made it so inexpensive so people can afford it. But her goal, Rick, is to help people to take back their health, to take back their lives, because what we are facing in medical societies, organizations, hospitals, doctors' offices, they're not designed to help you heal. They are designed to keep you sick or keep you maintained. When I say maintained, I mean keep you on pharmaceuticals that might suppress your symptoms and might cause other symptoms and problems so that you are a patient for life. Rick, let me ask you this. How many doctors you know, general practitioners, who are there to heal your body and treat root cause?
Yeah, nobody. Except
Nobody.
for a
I don't
few.
know anybody.
Yeah. And that's what the Make America Healthy Again movement is something. But what the focus was on this last 3 days with the with Dr. Artis,
Healing for the ages.
basically healing for the ages, was stop being a patient and be a student,
Stop.
right?
Yes, be a
Make yourself
student.
healthy again.
Learn.
Right.
Learn. And I'm telling you, Rick, I go back and watch those PowerPoints and watch those webinars because you can watch on the replay if you can't make it live. And if you can make it live, you can actually ask that doctor who we bring on, you can ask him questions during the show. But if you can't, that's okay. You can watch the replay and watch it as many times as you want. So you could take notes, pause it, fast forward, Um, I've learned so much. And Dr. Tenpenny says the same thing. Look, I highlight my own work and I actually
Right.
re-listen to those webinars as well because we are students forever.
And that's
And
11
as long
a.m.
as you can
11 a.m. CST. Is that right, Michelle?
No, those for those particular webinars that I'm talking about that are part of the Prime membership,
Okay.
that is at the end of the month. It's usually the last week of the month, either a Monday or a Wednesday,
Okay, that's a
depending on when
membership
that
thing.
specialist
I
is
gotcha.
available.
I
That's
gotcha.
yeah, that's a membership thing. But again, it's only $25, and that cost honestly goes to our paying for our Zoom rooms. It goes to paying for keeping the website going and having the staff to put up that information. Dr. Tempe doesn't make any money off of that. It's she's doing this to educate the people, but we just need a little help from the people to keep doing it. And we're hoping that $25 a month maybe feels like a donation for people, but she's also giving them so much education. And please, the listeners here, you may not think you need it now, but I guarantee you there'll be a day where you're like, oh my gosh, I wish I knew more about thyroid. I wish I knew more about my reproductive system, what's happening with my body. There's been so much wealth of education in there. I can't say enough for it. And she works tirelessly, Rick, really tirelessly for very little to try and get people educated, whether it's about God or whether it's about medicine. Like she says, you cannot separate science from God. And this is kind of where she pulls it all together.
All right. I love it. I love it. Thank you for coming on to substitute for pinch hit for Dr. Sherry
My
Tenpenny.
pleasure. I love you guys. You
But
guys
we'll
are
get her.
wonderful, and I appreciate your audience so much. Thanks for tuning in here with me, little old me. And maybe you'll hear from me again in the future. But follow me on Live Well and Detox. If there's anything that you like or have questions about, please ask. But if you see my detox information there, don't buy from me. Buy from Rick. I want to make sure that you're supporting faith and freedom here, because not only is he working really hard to get you this information and bring people like us on the show. I know how expensive it is to run programs like this, and we bring you things that can help you in your life, in your health, and that is primary. But you can buy from anybody, but if you can buy from him, that really helps support the show and helps support you. So I hope that that you'll do that, and please write to us. I want to know your testimonials. I want to hear about how this has changed your life. And you can write to us at support@drtenpenny.com and send us your testimonials, or tag us. Go on social media, tag us all, and let us know how you're feeling. And feel free to ask us questions.
All right. So again, if you want to know what does Dr. Sherry Tenpenny recommend to detox both your brain and your gut, well, that's blessedteach.com /detox. And if you want to know how do you make sure your telomeres stop shrinking based on the best science available, then that Dr. Tenpenny recommends, that is right down here at blessedteach.com /agewell. That's agewell. So God bless you guys. Hey, with that, we're moving on to going to the the Word and Worship channel, the Word and Worship channel on Faith and Freedom TV, as well as on Rumble. So follow us there. That's where we're going next to do worship. God bless you all. Michelle, thank you so much for coming on. If those backstage, what mind unmuting and saying thank you to Michelle.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Michelle. God bless.
Thank you. God bless you.
God bless.
Thank you. God bless
nice
you too.
evening.
I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much.
Stay strong.
Stay strong.
Thank you. You too.
Tell Dr. Penny we missed her and we love her.
Aw. Which I will tell her that. Thank you.
Yeah, good lady, tell the truth.
Surrender. Christian soldiers, we are in this together. We are blessed to teach. We are neighbors, we believe. We are blessed to be free, to love our God and country.
That was really good.
Elitist media deceives, but Faith and Freedom TV amplifies truth. Our world-leading platform delivers news, teachings, worship, movies, and music rooted in biblical values and constitutional patriotism, inspiring faith and liberty. We inspire, equip, and amplify Christian patriots to share powerful stories of faith, family, and freedom. With live events, thousands of on-demand videos, and access on Roku, Fire TV, Apple TV, Android, and iOS, we're transforming culture globally for God and country. New content is coming to ignite faith. Join our mission to counter deception. Visit faithandfreedom.tv and download the Faith and Freedom TV app today.